that's going to be important because we're actually coming up with what's going to be important. We're actually going to take a look at playing the blues. So if you haven't already gotten out your guitar, let's get out your guitar and get started. Okay, so we've got some scales that we're going to be using. And this begins the journey into the one finger blues. All right, and I'm going to keep it like this so I can better, well, you can see it better if we do this. All right, so to play the blues or any music, you need harmony, rhythm, melody. You could have lyric in there, but we're going to focus on this rhythm, harmony, and melody. So for harmony, that means more than one note at a time. This is one note. This is two notes. So we're going to play two notes at a time using one finger. And this is the chord diagram. We're going to make this available to you afterwards as a download from Blues Master page. Crystal is going to assist with that. Right now I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to show you how you can use one finger to play both of these shapes. And if you don't read guitar tablature or can't tell what's going on with the neck, the red dot, that is the root note. You don't know what that is? That's okay. That just is what your ear hears as the center of the sound. Okay, so we'll stop right there. And this is what we're going to do. I want you to take your index finger of your left hand, or if it's a right-handed guitar, you're going to use your other hand. Whatever hand you're using for fretting, take your index finger and you are going to put it on the neck, fret 2. So we're going to start at fret 1, go to fret 2, and we're going to go down to string 5. And you're going to press that down until the string touches the fret wire. And how do you know when it's touching the fret wire? You can listen to it by ear. I'm just going to pick that string. That's muted. I'm pressing down harder. You just want to press hard enough so that it is fretted. Now what you're going to do is you're going to play both string 6 and string 5. String 6 and string 5. You can use a pick and pick them, or you can pluck them with your thumb and index finger of the other hand. It can be this, or it can be using a pick like this. So that is chord 1. We are going to play 3 chords. Doesn't matter if you know the name of the chords, but this is an E power chord. Next, we're going to go to an A power chord. So from your point of view, as just worried about one finger, what you're going to do is you're going to take your index finger and you're going to move it down one string. It's going to stay in the same fret, fret 2, 1, 2, and you're going to move it down to string 4. And on a guitar, we number those from the thickest is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on a 6-string guitar. So our second chord is going to be on string 4. That's what we're going to press down with our index finger. And we're going to play string 5 and 4 together. It's going to be like this. If I pluck it, or with a pick. So we've got 2 chords now. We've got E5, A5, just E power chord, A power chord. We're going to start on fret 2, string 5, and play that first chord. Move your finger down one string and play string 5 and 4. And then we're going to pick up this finger and we are going to slide it all the way down to fret 4. And you're right, we are going to move it down one more string, only this time we are going to do what is in the blues or rock called a double stop. You're going to use this finger to press down two strings, string 4 and 3, string 4, 6, 5, 4, at fret 4, and string 3. So they sound like this and this. Together, they sound like this. So just practice that for a second. This is chord 3.
And a question, do you strum all strings or just which strings do you strum or pick?
That is an excellent question. So we're not going to do this. So that's not what you want to do. You just want to focus. We're going to be playing 2 strings at a time. We're going to start with string 6 and 5. That's our first string, or our first chord. Our second chord, we're going to move our finger down 1 and play strings 5 and 4. And then we're going to slide our finger up to fret 4. And then you're going to press down 2 strings, string 4 and 3. But you're going to play both of them at the same time. And sometimes, you know, it's very easy for people who play the guitar a lot to forget how hard it is to maneuver around the guitar the very first time and how hard it is to pick 2 strings at a time. Because when I was first trying to do it, it would have sounded more like that. And it should sound like this. So again, let's practice 1, 2, chord 1, 2, and 3. Chord 1, move your finger down 1 string, chord 2, and then slide your finger up 2 frets, and you're going to stay on string 4 and 3, only you're going to move your pick down 1, and it's going to be string 4 and 3. And you're going to try to play them at the same time. That is a double stop. All right. So let me just take a quick look here and see where we go from that point. Make sure I'm covering everything that I should. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on I was going to put on a metronome, but given the sound issues, we're not going to do that. I'm going to play, and you're going to play along with me. We're just going to play on the beat. Now, that's something I really want to cover because that can really be confusing. I was always wondering, what is the beat? Everybody's talking about the beat. What is that? It's a way of communicating when you're supposed to be playing music. So they decided that a measure, and if you look at music, you've got these vertical lines and then lines and numbers and notes between them. Between the 2 lines is called a bar or measure. And most of the time, there are 4 beats per measure, about 90–95% of the time. So 4 beats per measure, that means that we're counting through those measures, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you should be tapping your foot. If you can tap your foot, you're going to be way ahead of the game. It took me a long time to be able to do it, to play and tap my foot, but if you can count and tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and able to do that, that gives you 2 dimensions of counting. Most guitarists that I know have a hard time tapping their foot all the time and playing along to music. They get off. But as a beginning guitarist that is going to really get this ingrained and bring your skill level up as quickly as possible, try tapping that foot. All right, so let's play again. I'm going to play 4 beats on the E power chord. 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that sounds a little bit different. I imagine some of you might be playing, and you, even if you're playing two strings, you hear this. And that is ringing out. What I'm using is I'm using the fleshy part of my hand right up by the bridge, and I'm just covering the strings slightly to give it a more percussive sound. You can do the same thing, or you could just focus on playing the chords. That is your choice, but you can get different levels of muting from sliding it way up and just getting a percussive sound, and sliding it down and you get a more musical sound, until you get just open strings vibrating. But you control noise, string noise, and noise is anything that you don't want from a guitar sound. You control that by using muting, and one of the types of mutings is palm muting, which is what we use. We use this part of our hand just touching those strings. All right, so let's practice. Let's play the blues. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we're going to move our finger down one and play our second chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, did anybody have problems with that transition? You can just, while I'm talking here, practice, you know what I'm doing? I'm moving my finger back and forth from string 5 to string 4, string 5 to 4. If you get that situational awareness in your hand here, you don't have to stare at your hand. That's one of the problems guitarists have all the time. Staring at this hand and trying to watch this hand pick and looking at music gives you 3 things to look at once, and we've only got 2 eyes. Very difficult. So if you can make something automatic, like moving your finger back and forth, and you can practice that even when you're watching TV, then all of a sudden, if it's automatic, you don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's one of the secrets to playing. Write this down. Make something automatic. Practice it enough that it's automatic. And I'm not talking about something big, like I want to play Jimi Hendrix's most popular song, and I couldn't tell you what that is, Along the Watchtower or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. That's too big of a goal to get to be automatic. Yes, you can do it, but the things that I'm talking about are moving your finger to the correct fret and the correct string without looking. If you can do that and you don't have to stare at it, you've got a skill set that is going to last you through your guitar career, and you're never going to have to worry about that again. All right, so let's continue playing. We are going to play chord 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to switch to chord 3, so slide up 2 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go back to chord 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If that's too fast, do it at half speed. Only pick once every time that I do 2. You can do it as slow as you need to get it. And if you're just playing one chord, you're playing the blues. All right, so those are our 3 chords. Let me move on and talk a little bit more for those that want to know how to turn this into a song, a blues song. And that's going to be, I'm going to actually share my screen here for a second, and then we will take a look at what turns it into a song structure. Here we go. Share, and I'll maximize that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take those 3 chords. Remember, we had the 3, E5, A5, and B5. We're going to play E5 4 times, and we're going to do that for 4 bars. So that means we're going to play it 16 times. That's playing on each beat. Each bar has 4 beats, and we're going to go for 4 bars. 4 times 4 is 16, and Crystal will throw something at me if my math is wrong. My music is not wrong, but my math has on occasion been wrong. Okay, we're going to then play A5 for 2 bars on the beat. So that means 2 times 4 is 8. We're going to play A5 8 times. We're going to go back to E5, and we're going to play 2 bars of E5. That's another 8. Then we're going to go all the way up to B5. That is chord 3. We're going to play that for 2 bars. And then we're going to go back to E5. Now, if you look to the right, you can see this is the actual structure of the 12-bar blues. That's what we are playing today. All right, so let me stop sharing and let's practice that for just a second so that we can get through this and give you the 12-bar blues. You're going to play the 12-bar blues right now. Get your guitar, let's play it. So how many times are we going to play the E5, chord 1? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's bar 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's bar 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's bar 4. Let's switch to A5. Move your finger down 1 string and your pick, or if you're doing finger picking, move it down to the next set of 2 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another bar. Now back to chord 1, E5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you remember where we go from here. B5. So we're going to go to string 4 and 3 on fret 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And back to chord 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that was a 12-bar blues, and some of the 12-bar blues, they go from chord 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to chord 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It isn't important that the 12-bar blues varies. It's supposed to vary. It's just you're going to play it the same way every time. So I'm going to give you permission here to be creative. If you want to play chord 1, this one, for 1 bar, and then chord 2 for 1 bar, and then chord 1 for 1 bar, and then chord 2 for 1 bar, chord 3 for 4 bars. And then I forgot how many bars we're at right now, but it just needs to add up to 12. And then you finish or you start again on chord 1. And why do we want it cyclic like that? It's so that you can have your friends over and you can either sing to this or you can improvise on the guitar. Play 12 bars, 12 4-beat repetitions. All right? So moving on, and I'll have to accelerate a little bit so we can get through this. How do we make it sound more like the blues? What we do is we play in triplets. And what the heck is a triplet? I have people that are in class that are intermediate or advanced guitarists, and they have a hard time with triplets. I'm going to give you the secret to triplets right now. What is the secret to triplets? Triplets is 3 equal divisions of time during 1 beat. So if the beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, a triplet, all it does is we're going to take one of those beats and divide it up into 3 parts, 3 equal parts. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's not. So you need to work on getting those as equal subdivisions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Another thing that you can do that sounds bluesy is you can take that triplet rhythm and you can remove the middle triplet. And what it sounds like is it sounds like you're rushing a note before you get back to the next beat. So it's going to be, you're going to play 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's what triplets sound like. Here is the shuffle rhythm where you get rid of that middle triplet, and that is. It creates an interesting rhythmic pattern so that you don't get tired of just playing on the beat. You can experiment with that on your own time. And once you get that triplet rhythm, a lot of blues soloing follows triplets. And we can talk more about that at another time. As you can tell, I'm excited about the blues and love playing the blues. Let me share my screen again, and I'm going to show you a couple of more pieces that are going to help clarify the blues for you. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to maximize that for you. And here's what it looks like actually in music notation, and you can tell you've got that that upside down half box on top with the 3 in the middle. That is describing the beat. You can see there are 3 beats, and the middle note is missing. And this is what traditional tab mixed with notation is going to look like. If it's just gibberish to you, don't worry about it. All right, this is going to be important. So we are going to post all of these scales and the music notation on our website. Our technical business manager, Crystal, is going to assist me in getting that uploaded. That will be up this afternoon by 3 p.m. so that you have these for your personal use. If you want, take a picture of this with your cell phone if you can actually see the screen. And we're going to talk about the 2 types of scales that you can solo over using the blues. So if you have somebody to play a 12-bar blues, you can do a blues solo. And how do you do a blues solo? Use one of these scales. Which note do you start on? Doesn't matter. Pick 3 or 4 of the notes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start on the minor pentatonic, and it's E minor pentatonic. That really doesn't matter. I put everything in the key of E blues for purposes of what we're doing. So this is E minor pentatonic. And here is E major pentatonic. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of those. There's a red R, that means the root. That's the center of what your ear hears as basically home base for the musical piece. And if you play a chord, and I'm going to play a full chord, not the power chords that we're playing, and then you play one of these scales, it will sound okay. And I'm playing that with the shuffle pattern that I did before, that missing middle triplet, or the minor pentatonic. I'm going to play that E dominant chord again. And then we move up to one of those red R's and play the minor pentatonic. Gives it a different emotional flavor. And whatever you're feeling like if you're feeling like sad blues, you play the minor. If you're feeling like happy blues, play the major. You choose. You are the artist. You're choosing what you hear and what your audience hears. And that is really cool. I really like the idea of what we tell our students all the time is you are weaving an emotional tapestry for your listener. So we don't have time. I was going to let you solo over the blues, but we don't have time for that right now. I just want to wrap up and give you enough that you can take this and start playing the blues. That is my goal for today, that you take this simple one finger blues, or if you're more advanced, you take the patterns and solo over the blues. And remember, if you're more advanced, or you're going to become more advanced over the next month or two, triplet pattern for solos is going to be important. And you will hear that in the solos and blues solos that are popular. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again, and we're just going to do some wrap up here. It's really nice to have a technical manager like Crystal who knows enough to actually get things done and can solve things for somebody who is has problems on occasion with technology. All right, and we don't want to play that. All right, experiment. So I want you to take this and the tools, and you have some blues tools right now. Right now you have blues tools. Use them and experiment. Don't be hesitant to play with rhythm. If you want to play 2 notes per beat or 4 notes per beat, that's okay. You just have to keep regular timing. Make sure that you're aware of the beat. If your beat kind of floats all over the place, that's one reason that a musical piece does not sound good. Keep your timing tight, but experiment with different types of timing. And I have here, alter the melodic curve to your taste. That means you don't have to play the scale in a row. Instead of playing it like this, you can play it like this. You don't have to pick, play notes in concentric order. And you can play that little blues note as well. The blues, there's really only 1 or 2 notes on the guitar that do not sound good in the blues when it's being played in its pure form with the dominant chord. And now you can tell your friends the blues is played with dominant chords. You can change the chords. E blues becomes A blues if you know where to move it on the guitar neck. Have fun with it. And if you only remember one thing from this class, remember you can get better at guitar. In fact, I guarantee you can. You need the right program, right focus, and a can-do attitude. So if you take these skills, these tools from today, put them to work today, get the 12 bars blues today, you're going to have something that you will have for the rest of your life. Just remember, don't say, I'm not any good at this, because that is not the case. What happens in that case is we give up. We say, I'm no good at it, which means I'm frustrated. Don't let that frustration get to you. In fact, if you feel frustrated, contact me and I'll tell you that you can do it, because I've seen it hundreds of times. If you just push through that and get a little bit of technical skill and keep moving